Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Lowe's out in Plano, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That's the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me. I would love to connect with you if you have any questions about the plants or just want to interact with me in general. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon when I film this beautiful Lowe's right here. This is actually one of my favorite Lowe's because it tends to have a lot of plants. You can see that even the outdoor garden section right here is just overflowing with plants. We are definitely going to be focused mostly on the outdoor, not the outdoor. You see there, I get all excited, the indoor section of the plants. So we're going to see what kind of tropical plants we will be able to find today while we visit Lowe's in Plano, Texas. As you can see right here, we do have so many different types of plants. And if you notice, I do have a new track by DJ Bang Beats. This is one of the newer tracks for the Grow Folds YouTube channel. So hopefully you enjoy this little new track that we have here. But as you can see right here, again, it is a beautiful Saturday.
Hey guys, I'm Janae from Janae Simone.
I'm Steve from I Love Plants.
And I am Richie from Grow Folds, and we are
Cultivation Corner. We are so excited. We have a plant podcast. We talk about any and everything, all things plants, and we premiere every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube at cultivation_corner. So be sure to tune in and watch us.
Follow us also on Instagram, and be sure to share our videos and our episodes with all of you plant lovers. We need more cultivators, right,
Yes.
Steve?
Yes, we do. So what are you going to do? You're going to share the video.
You
That's
have
what you're
to.
gonna do.
Have to. Today. All right, guys.
Today.
We'll see you on the next one.
And you can see right here, plant foldies. We've got so many beautiful indoor tropical plants. We're going to be looking at any Costa Farms plants, urban jungle plants, and live trend design plants. I'm just going to pan over here and walk around and show you just what they have so far. And then we will go into details about the plant care, the plant pricing, and any plants that I would recommend for your plant collection. I appreciate all the plant foldies, and for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie, and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. And I want to say thank you to the plant foldies that are super patient with me. I haven't been nearly as consistent in the last week about just getting daily plant shopping videos. Things have just gotten really busy, and I've decided to prioritize a little bit of my personal time to just either rest or interact with my family and friends outside of YouTube. But with that being said, if you are wanting that extra content, I will be able to at least post shorter videos on my YouTube membership tier called the Super Plant Foldies. It is only $2.99 to join, and you get all these additional perks. So if you do like more additional content outside of the daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, please join the Plant Foldies, which I will call the Super Plant Foldies membership tier. We have had quite a bit of plant foldies actually join, and that's super exciting because you're going to see some more content aside from my daily plant shopping videos. If you want to get to know me even on a more personal level, that is where I'm going to place a lot of my additional content. You'll see my personal plants, you'll see my lifestyle blogs, you'll just see a lot of things right there. And once I get into the groove of actually being a little bit more consistent about posting on my membership tier, that's going to be super exciting. And you'll know you are a super plant foldie when you go to the live premiere chats, because number one, your name is going to actually be highlighted, and number two, there's going to be an Aglionema emoji right next to you. So that's going to be super interesting. But anyways, let's get to the plant shopping, because I know you guys are here for the plant shopping. It's always exciting, actually, plant foldies, super exciting to just be able to walk around, pick up plants and just talk freely about plants and other insights. So we're going to be picking this up right here. So this one right here is a live transplant. This one is some type of anthurium for $19.84. And I love live trans designs. I say this in every single video of mine. And the reason being is live trans design really has a modern vibe, modern feel about their plants. I really love the aesthetic about it. I even love just the color palette that they use for their planters. I do believe that a lot of their planters really accentuate and highlight the beauty of the plants. And in my opinion, I like more simplistic plants because I feel like that is more of a way to highlight the plant versus have something that actually kind of fights with the plant itself, if that makes any sense, just like the aesthetic. And you can even see right here, we've got a ficus Audrey, and I remember buying a ficus Audrey for a very cost-effective price at Costco. And so when you think about big box stores or other places to buy plants, one way to save money is to really compare and contrast the plant pricing. You would think that certain places would have cost-effective plant pricing, but it would actually be surprising that you can even find plants for an even better deal. An example would be is if you shop at, say, Ace Hardware, where they have a lot of their outdoor plants and even indoor tropical plants for a more cost-effective price than, say, a traditional big box store like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, or Target. So that's just some of my insights and tips on just how to save money on plants. But as you can see right here, this place right here just has quite a bit of plants to choose from. You can see this one is a philodendron Birkin. This one is a very common philodendron. I would even say it is very common because everywhere I go in terms of just a big box store, you will find a philodendron Birkin. This has a beautiful planter here. I love that pink by Live Trends Design. This is for $19.84. Beautiful Live Trends Design plant. Philodendron Birkin, another easy to care for plant. So we're just going to keep walking around here and I'll pan around and show you what other plants they have available. You'll notice that this Lowe's location definitely has quite a bit of plants to pick from. What I like about this Lowe's location is also the merchandising. So they've got lots of plants organized, neat, and super full. And, you know, those are qualities that I look at whenever I am going shopping, because when you have something that is in stock, that is organized, and even has a great price, you're more susceptible, I would say, to spending money and buying plants. And, you know, for me, and I ask all the plant foldies, let me know in the comment section if you would consider yourself having slight plant addiction. I would say that my plant addiction has been very much regulated, and I feel very good about not just buying a bunch of plants. I have really been spending more time taking care of my plants. actually spending more time admiring and just really enjoying the plants that I have and not feeling like I have to add every single plant. I have to find ways to where I don't have the temptation to just keep spending money. And it's really interesting because whenever you go to a big box store and you see plants like the ones I just picked up, those philodendron heteroraceum, for instance, by Live Trends Design, you get tempted to buy the plants, and even just finding really nice specimens. So like we're gonna go over here and you can just see that this Lowe's just has so many plants to pick from. This one right here, and I'm usually not a big combination planter, but you can see this particular Phalaenopsis orchid, for instance, beautiful blooms, and I just love the look of this plant. I would be tempted to buy this one right here for $19.84, but I will just admire it. So there is such a thing as called window shopping, where you are just literally looking and shopping. That's really the bulk of these videos. So whenever I say that I am taking you alongside with me to go big box store plant shopping, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to just buy a bunch of plants and have like a plant haul. I could just literally walk around these days and just pick up plants, admire what they look like, and just show you what I would recommend buying plants. And that's really the beauty of, I guess, this YouTube channel, is I don't feel like I necessarily have to buy plants anymore. I could literally just go into a store and film plants. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, what your thoughts are about window shopping, or are you the type of person where if you go to a big box store, you are just so tempted to buy plants. Now over here is another beautiful dendrobian orchid. So if you notice that the Phalaenopsis orchid looks different, this one is for $18.98. And if I were to add another type of orchid in my plant collection, at some point, I would actually add a dendrobian orchid as well as a vanda orchid. So, these are beautiful blooming plants. I'm just curious as well for any plant foldies or even the super plant foldies if you have any Phalaenopsis orchid. As far as the super plant foldies, please utilize the custom emojis that the YouTube membership tier gives you to actually place if you're leaving comments in the comment section. And for those that have made it this far into the video, like I've asked, and hopefully you will help this video out, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And leave as many comments as you'd like. Shout out again to Eric and Kathy. You guys have always left many comments for me to read. I really enjoy that engagement, and you already know, whether you are a plant foldie or a super plant foldie that's joined the YouTube membership, I will respond to all the comments as long as they are positive. Well, even if I've gotten some negative comments, which I have honestly not received any negative comments in a while. And I think it's because we have really set the boundaries in terms of whether we allow that negativity on this channel. I am really thankful to all the super plant foldies and the plant foldies for not allowing the negativity to enter the comment section. So we're going to keep walking around here, plant foldies. You can see right here, Raven ZZ. Costa Farms trending tropical plant for only $19.84. This isn't a self-watering planter, and that is an easy one. It's always nice to see these gorgeous Monstera Thai constellations make it at a big box store like Lowe's. This one is for $29.84 in a self-watering planter. This is a Costa Farms trending tropical plant. Really love Monstera Thai constellations. I will say though, for Monstera Thai constellations, caution over watering them, because especially in their juvenile stage, they tend to be susceptible to root rot. So just make sure that you're not over watering your Monstera Thai constellations. And then at this Lowe's, you can see that we have a lot of Costa Farms plants. This one is a Calathea orbifolia, beautiful one for only $15.98. And I would even just say the Costa Farms operations, in terms of just how many plants that they produce, on a yearly basis. I mean, it's tens of thousands of these plants, and it's going to always be interesting because if they're producing that many plants, you already know there's going to be some type of mutation where they may be able to get a specific new cultivar. And so for me, just going to big box stores, sometimes I want to go to a specific big box store so I could find perhaps a sport variegated plant, a plant that may have some mutation on it. And I was really excited to find at a Lowe's a variegated bird of paradise. And for those that do collect plants, I already know y'all love to look for variegated plants. Totally get it. But for this Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue for only $19.84, this is just a green plant, but look at how beautiful the leaves are. I love this Epipremnum pinnatum simply because it doesn't necessarily have to have a moss pole or a totem pole to have its leaves fenestrate. So that's a really interesting quality about it. And then we're just going to keep looking at all these other plants right here. We've got a Monstera stadliana for $19.84, again by Costa Farms, Trending Tropicals. It is in a self-watering planter. I do want to know your opinion, plant foldies, on whether you utilize self-watering planters, especially for soil substrates. Now, I use self-watering planters specifically for my semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuza Pond or Leca. Please leave that in the comments section below. And then you can see right here, Philodendron White Knight, beautiful philodendron. This one's actually a pretty easy one. And in terms of the white variegation, it can be a little bit finicky in terms of like whether it goes brown or not. What I would suggest is actually buying from Amazon what you call a silica solution that you can actually water your plants with. It actually helps mitigate these variegations from actually browning and crisping. It really works out well. Now, this is a massive Monstera Peru, and this is a prime example of a beautiful green foliage plant. It's one that it doesn't have variegation, but it's got beautiful leaf texture. It's got large leaves already, and this is another easy to care for plant for only $19.98. Costa Farms calls this the Monstera Galaxy Green. It's also known as a Monstera Peru, and that's the thing about plants. Many plants have many different types of names. So like for instance, Aglaonema red Siam can also be called Aglaonema Siam aurora. So you'll just have to really familiarize yourself on the specific names. I think it really depends on the region you're at. And we're just going to continue to walk over here. Let me know again what you think about some of these plants. Would you go buy them? Would you go shopping at Lowe's for some cheap and inexpensive house plants? I would recommend it. I think that you get really good deals whenever you are going big box store plant shopping. I mean, look at this, another gorgeous Monstera Peru, for instance. Here's an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. This one is actually a Costa Farms exclusive. This was actually a sport variegation mutation that they found, stabilized, and was able to get a lot of numbers in to where they could actually release this as a new pothos cultivar. Love the look of this plant. The only thing about pothos plants, especially for ones that have that green on green variegation, if you do not provide it enough bright indirect light, it will eventually have less variegation, or at least you won't see that green on green coloration. And then again, we have some more Monstera Perus right here. What are your thoughts on Monstera Perus? I know that there is a variegated version of it, but I am totally content having the green version. I just love that leaf texture. And when it comes down to it, sometimes the nuances of a specific leaf or just that deep green color is all I need to satisfy my plant collection. Most green plants are a lot easier to take care of than say more of the variegated plants. And speaking of easy to care for plants, we have a Dracaena right over here, and we just have more plants to pick from. You can see right over here, this is a begonia or a Rex begonia, so it doesn't have a specific plant ID. This one was originally for $5.98, but you can see that there is a marker that's marked across the barcode. That signifies that this plant is actually 50% off. So if you are looking to save money money at Lowe's. If you are looking to manage your finances, actually get a really good deal while you're shopping at Lowe's for houseplants, you can always look at the clearance section. And just because something is put on clearance, it doesn't necessarily mean that the plant is severely damaged or is not healthy. Sometimes they are just trying to get through some of these products. Like this one right here is a Hedera Helix, or what you call, the correct way to say it is Hedera Helix Sterling. And if you'll notice that the leaves are very narrow, I love that texture. And you know, English ivies, they really fascinate me in a sense that there's so many varieties, there's so many variegation types, and there's so many leaf shapes. Unfortunately, that is just not a plant I would recommend growing indoors. It's the same thing with croton plants. So this one is Bush on Fire. I actually bought a croton plant from Blue Moon Tropicals out at Plant Con 2025 in Orlando, Florida. I forgot to water it and it stayed a little too dry to the point where the leaves pretty much dropped. Now I know that the plant is still alive, but it's going to need to recover. That's the only thing about croton plants, that they tend to be a little bit more finicky when you are growing them indoors. So you can see right over here, we just have a bunch of Costa Farms exotic angel plant. As I pan around here, I'm just gonna keep walking around and showing you what else they have at this Lowe's location. Can't go to a big box store without seeing a beautiful Phalaenopsis orchid, especially at Lowe's. Lowe's has quite a bit of a selection when it comes to orchids, whether it's a Phalaenopsis orchid, a Vanda orchid, a Dendrobia orchid, a Calathea orchid. They've got so many varieties. And for those that actually grow orchids, what are your specific care tips? Would you actually grow orchids? Leave that in the comments section below. You already know Plant Foldies. I love hearing from you guys. And I will also announce on May 7th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on PETA's Planters Instagram page. Please follow PETA's Planters on Instagram. Cultivation Corner, which is the plant podcast that I'm part of with Janae Simone, Stephen of I Lift Plants. We will be doing a live selling event, and I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that have bought plants from PETA's Planters. It is all about supporting local small businesses. PETA's Planters is my favorite plant shop in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Would highly recommend going there and taking a trip. And if you can't visit PETA's Planters, she now ships houseplants on her website. She does Instagram story sells, and also just join us on the live premiere live selling on May 7th. I think it is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard USA time. It is a fun party. I actually streamed the live stream on my YouTube channel. So for those that don't have an Instagram page, you can actually watch it on YouTube and see us sell some plants. There's going to be a bunch of Aglaonema, and if you ever buy plants from PETA's Planters, please make sure that you guys post photos, reels, videos on YouTube, your social medias, and really tag PETA's Planters. I love the fact that a lot of Plant Foldies came out and actually did unboxing videos, and that just creates more consumer confidence when it comes to buying, especially from PETA's Planters. And that to me is a really good way to support anybody that has a dream supporting small businesses. Now, I get that we are looking at big box store plant shopping. Big box store plant shopping is still going to be the core of this YouTube channel, but I always love to talk about local nurseries as well, especially in the DFW area. But as you can see here, Plant Foldies, lots and lots of Costa Farms plants. We have a bunch of Live Trends design plants as well as Urban Jungle plant. Over here is a beautiful ZZ Zenzi plant. And what I love about ZZ Zenzi is it has a more compact growth to its foliage. It is a slower growing ZZ plant, but it is a very durable plant. It's a plant that you can literally put in a dark space and it will still live. It may not necessarily thrive, but you can put it in an area that doesn't necessarily get the best lighting and it will still grow. You can not water it for like 3 weeks and it will still do well. So, you know, those plants, those easy to care for plants are the plants that are low light tolerant and drought tolerant. So just remember that whenever you're shopping for plants. And then over here is a Live Trends design plant. This one is for a bird's nest fern, and this one is for $19.84 as well in a 6-inch planter. Beautiful looking serrated leaves, and I'm just going to keep picking up some more of these plants right over here. You can see we've got a red marantha in bloom that is super cute, and this one is an urban jungle plant for only $14.98 in a ceramic hanging basket. So for me, going to Lowe's is definitely where I would go, a big box store plant shopping. This is where I get the majority of a lot of my plants when I'm looking for something super cost effective, super inexpensive, something that is going to save me money, especially if I am on a plant budget. Neon pothos, $14.98. I mean, look at that. That is just so beautiful. And, you know, we talked about basic plants. Basic does not make it just a basic plant. Basic is actually synonymous, in my opinion, to stress-free, brings you joy, easy to care for, inexpensive, commonly found, but just a lot of positive benefits. Philodendron Ring of Fire, $19.84 is another beautiful Costa Farms trending tropical plant. Really love the variegation of this. And, you know, this is an example of a philodendron about 4 to 5 years ago that used to be very much highly sought after, but it was super expensive. Now it is actually at an affordable price. And, you know, a lot of it has to do with the ability to tissue culture these plants. So I would say there was just a huge batch of tissue cultured philodendron Ring of Fires that eventually, this is the crop. And we actually seen philodendron Ring of Fires, you know, as early as last year. And then we have a philodendron Painted Lady. I like philodendron Painted Lady, but the only thing is with this particular philodendron, if you are trying to maintain that beautiful yellow neon color, you have to provide lots of light. It literally has to either grow under a grow light or has to receive like south facing window sun, or somewhere where it's not in direct sunlight, but gets quite a bit of light. I really love that neon yellow, almost like bleach look on the plant. I love the red stems and the petioles. This is another plant that it's easy to care for. You just have to let the soil dry out and then you water it. And, you know, that's with a lot of plants. Some people will look at plants and be like, do I need to be on a watering schedule? I would just say you need to just make sure if the soil is completely dry, water it. And then, you know, for some of the more thirsty plants, you just need to water them a little bit more frequently. And then we have some more lemon meringue pothos right over here. It's another beautiful pothos that for me, it's one I would recommend, especially if you're looking for something very durable, very easy, very cost effective, something that is going to save you money while you are shopping. What is super exciting is that we are now seeing a lot of Japanese pothos. This is an Epipremnum aureum Shangri-La. Some people will also call this the Godzilla pothos. Beautiful plant. Some people don't really like it. Some people say it looks like spinach. But for me, just the textures on the leaves is really interesting. This one is also from the Taruno World series. So if you want to see Taruno pothos, definitely check that out. They have a Taruno World Instagram. Japanese pothos are all the rave. They're still quite uncommon, but you can now find them at big box stores, which is really nice because a cutting of a Shangri-La pothos about 4 years ago used to be $100, and now you can buy that for only $19.98 from Costa Farms. And then you'll see right over here, we've got a beautiful philodendron tortum. We've got some more Costa Farms trending tropical plants. This one right here is another Epipremnum aureum Shangri-La, or a Shangri-La pothos. pothos. Japanese pothos now can be found at a big box store, and I love finding plants like this. It just makes shopping so much fun. And you know, as much as like I want to keep creating shopping videos, I will have to admit that a lot of that has to be just very time consuming for me. And so I'm super thankful to any plant foldie or just any viewer that has come across my videos and has really engaged and taken the time to watch me go pick up plants and just talk about them. It's very therapeutic for me. I believe that plants are very much a positive thing in our lives. I would just say, if you ever experience plant burnout or if you have a plant addiction, there are different resources. There are different methods to kind of regulate it. For me, it's easy for me now to go to a big box store and not feel like I have to buy a specific plant. A lot of it has to do with my mindset on whether a plant has some type of intention and being very intentional in where I add it into my plant collection. And I would really like to extend that type of advice for anybody that is growing plants. Like for instance, a couple like a week or two ago, I ended up buying an Epipremnum aureum pearls and jade pothos. It's another beautiful plant for $16.98. And, you know, for me, long term, I was looking at propagating it and just adding another plant that's not necessarily going to be challenging to grow indoors. Now, this one right here is an interesting plant. This one looks like moss. I don't know a lot about it. So for those that are actually familiar with this plant, please leave in the comment section below. And if you made it this far into the video, plant foldies, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push that content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And take a look at this gorgeous Hydra Helix. And actually it is known as the Wonderful Ivy. And I love the Wonderful Ivy because it has really large round leaves, beautiful variegation on the edges. Unfortunately, this is just another plant I can't grow indoors long term. English ivy tend to get spider mites. They tend to be finicky if you are not watering them frequently, or overwatering them can also damage them. So for me, if you're gonna grow an English ivy, definitely take your Hydra Helix outside in a shaded area in a pot. I would not recommend growing an English ivy as a ground cover because it is super invasive. Now, we have looked at this gorgeous Aglaonema Red Siam, $15.98. This is the Grow Folds mascot because, as you know, I want to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. So if you are somebody that has never looked at Aglaonemas, please consider, adding one into your plant collection. I really feel like a lot of plants end up getting traction, end up being more trendy because of people posting about it on social media, talking about it. And I've even noticed that there is quite a bit of more engagement when it comes to Aglaonema. Like right here, Aglaonema Silver Bay, beautiful plant, $15.98. That has some gorgeous silver foliage, and we're just going to keep picking up some more Aglaonema. And this one right over here is an Aglaonema Electric Lime. Thank you to our plant foldie Travis for actually getting us the plant ID. What I love about this Aglaonema Electric Lime is it has that beautiful metallic shine about it, and it also has those white stems. It's such a beautiful plant, and that's the thing about Aglaonema that most people don't realize is even though it has such beautiful foliage, it is one of the easier plants to take care of. Again, they are low light tolerant and they are drought tolerant. So for somebody like me that doesn't have as much time to water the plant, Aglaonemas actually respond better when you don't overwater them. They are susceptible to root rot, and you can see right over here we've got another Epipremnum pinnatum for $15.98. This is the Baltic Blue. One thing I will say about the Baltic Blue Epipremnum pinnatum is when you give it more bright indirect light, it has more of a bluish silver tint to it. So it's another beautiful plant. This one is actually a very fast growing plant. plant. So if you like that instant gratification, you definitely want to consider getting a Baltic Blue Epipremnum pinnatum. And then we end up having another Aglaonema electric lime right over here for $15.98 by Costa Farms. I hope that Costa Farms will eventually release more beautiful, colorful Aglaonema. If you ever get a chance to look at some of those Instagram pages that have Indonesian nurseries, they have some beautiful Aglaonema that most people wouldn't see. And I believe that the reason why Aglaonema are not as popular of a houseplant is because, number one, the varieties that we have available, there's not nearly as much. And then number two, I truly believe it with all my heart that there's just not enough social media presence when it comes to Aglaonemas. I feel like with the variegated monsteras, the variegated philodendrons, the anthurium craze, more people are into that, not only because the plants are obviously beautiful, but I think that there is more awareness and there's more of a clamor when it comes to that. I mean, you can see right here, our classic Aglaonema red Siam, $15.98. And I just love the pink stems, for instance. You can see that one leaf right there might have some like fungus or mildew on it. That's the only disease that I would be cautious about with Aglaonemas. You really want to get rid of that leaf as soon as possible. And what I would recommend, if you have browning leaves like that are still a little bit wet, I would definitely spray them down with some hydrogen peroxide spray. I would just like dilute the hydrogen peroxide and spray it. And then you can see right over here, Costa Farms always comes around with some beautiful hanging baskets of plants. You can see right here, this is a Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen. So you can see that there are variegation on the edges of the leaves. Love it. Easy to care for plant, and it is only for $16.94. And then we have more hanging baskets that are available, like this Epipremnum aureum. Pearls and Jade Pothos for $16.98. And I eventually got one of these not too long ago. It is growing very well for me. I am actually propagating so many cuttings of Pothos. I would say from my Marble Queen Pothos, I probably took about 40 to 50 cuttings that I am currently rooting in water. So that's another way to actually save money and increase your plant collection, is just through plant propagation. So we're going to go spin around here, and I'm going to show you some more of these plants that they have available. I do like the merchandising that they have at this particular Lowe's. It definitely inspires me to want to spend money. Does that mean I need to spend money? Absolutely not. And what I always encourage all of our plant foldies is to go to a big box store with a plant budget. Number two, you also want to make sure that you have some idea of what houseplant you want to buy. And then number three, assess your space. Do you have space for the plant? Do you have time for the plant? Will that plant bring you joy? Those are all of the questions that you need to have prepared whenever you go shopping for plants, whether it's a big box store or a local nursery. I think that is what's going to prevent us from just having impulse buys or to just overconsume and buy plants that may not necessarily fit our plant collections because of those constraints. So that's just a couple of my tips on how to save money whenever you're shopping for plants. It's something that I continuously talk about in all of my big box or plant shopping videos. But let's just go ahead and admire all of the beautiful plants. There is a combination of Live Trends design plants like that one, urban jungle plants, as well as, you guessed it, house plants from Costa Farms. Like this is the exotic angel line, and you can see we've got another Hedera helix, or the Hedera helix, as most of you guys know, the English ivy. I'm so curious, are there any plant foldies that are currently doing the Hedera Helix Challenge 2025? Please leave that in the comment section below. And if you are going to do the Hedera Helix Challenge, which is basically to buy an English ivy, put it in an indoor space, and see how long you can keep it alive before it actually gets spider mites. There are a couple people that have been able to grow an English ivy long-term indoors. I am very envious of you and hope that you continue to be able to grow those. But I'll go ahead and just pick up these plants right here. These are all for $5.98. needs an Epipremnum aureum neon. This is such a beautiful plant. One of my favorite plants, a plant that every single plant foldie should have in their plant collection. I'm actually thinking for my membership Super Plant Foldies tier, I will actually have a list of Super Plant Foldie plants I would recommend for anybody that really wants to be that diehard super foldie. Again, plant foldies that are watching this video, I just recently launched my YouTube membership page, which is only for $2.99. If you want to join and become a super plant foldie, it is only $2.99. Just hit the join button. It's super easy and you will have access to a lot of my personal plant collection. I truly believe I'm probably going to live premiere my house plant tour for the super plant foldie tier before the general public sees it, and you will see more updates. Now this week has been a bit of a challenge in terms of just my consistency in being able to put up big box or plant shopping videos. My grandmother's 90th birthday party is happening on Saturday. She's already had her birthday, so she's already 90 years old, but we will be doing a huge family reunion / tribute for my grandmother. We will be having a huge party. I think there's over 100 guests that we will be having next Saturday in North Houston, so I will be traveling there. I will be doing a lot of personal plant content about the party, and it's mostly going to go on the Super Plant Foldie membership tier, so definitely join if you want to see that. And I'll also have some for the general public for the plant foldies that are consistently on the live premiere chats. You know, as I said before, I don't want people to feel obligated to have to join the Super Plant Foldie tier. I just wanted something a little bit more personal because there are some videos that I want to upload, but unfortunately, I feel like the YouTube algorithm doesn't really push out those other interests unless it is a big box or plant shopping video. So if you want to get to know me a little bit better, if you want a glimpse of my personal life, if you might potentially see a face reveal, join my YouTube membership tier. Just press join and it's super easy. But let's get back to the plants here. So you've seen me pick up a lot of these plants by Costa Farms. There's a lot of exotic angel plants. They range for $5.98 in the 3.5-inch planters, or if they're in a 5-inch planters, they're going to be $8.98. And you can see I picked up another English ivy. We've got a ficus bellus here, also known as a variegated creeping fig. Beautiful plant here. It's another one though that you will need to give it quite a bit of bright indirect light for it to do really well. And then we've got a Dracaena sandriana, or what they call the lucky bamboo. This is actually not bamboo, it's actually a Dracaena, but this one right here is going to need a little bit more water, a little bit more bright indirect light as compared to some of the other Dracaenas that I have mentioned in my previous videos. Beautiful plant. I love the variegated version, and you know, that's something unique. And when you put those two neon plants together, that neon pothos as well as that Dracaena sandriana variegated form, beautiful combination of plants. And that's another thing in terms of plants. Sometimes having combinations of plants, whether it's the color palette or the leaf texture or the growth habit, it makes it really interesting. And that's something I want to talk about a little bit more in depth in my YouTube membership program. So for the Super Plant Foldies, let me know if that's something you guys are interested. And if you're not a Super Plant Foldie and haven't joined the membership, check it out. Please press join. It again is only $2.99. So let's go ahead and continue to walk around here, plant foldies, and shop along with me at this big box store. Who doesn't like the background music by my friend Derek, DJ Bang Beats? The very beginning of this video actually was a new track that he created called Richie's Sauce Beat. So hopefully, plant foldies, you were just dancing around and just really looking at all the gorgeous foliage we have here. And then you can see right here, Urban Jungle has this beautiful Epipremnum aureum neon pothos. And look at how neon colored these leaves are. I just find them so stunning. I need more neon pothos plants. And guess what? The reason why I need more neon pothos plants is because they are just so easy to take care of. I will be propagating so many neon pothos. Like, I want a whole room of just neon pothos. Look at that sport variegation on that particular neon pothos. I actually have a Japanese pothos that is basically derived from like a neon pothos called a Epipremnum aureum carnival. It's got a beautiful neon color, but it just has a unique variegation on it. I'll have to feature that on my my YouTube membership page, some of those plants that I have like that. And then here is another Hydra Helix. This one is the wonderful ivy, and as far as this English ivy, I really love that round leaf as well. I would definitely buy this. I love the variegation on this plant, and there's just so many plants to pick from. And you know, for spring 2025, big box stores are where they're at. Actually, plant shopping in general during the springtime is the best time to go, because a lot of places will have more plants to pick from. I would even say Costa Farms really releases a ton of these plants. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you've actually found some new plants from Costa Farms, Urban Jungle, Live Trends Designs, or even proven winner plants. You can see here is another Hydra Helix. This one is a beautiful one with just smaller leaves. You can see the leaves are a little bit more narrow, and that's really the diversity I love with English ivy, and that is the reason why I tend to talk about English ivy. It is another plant that I just wish would love me back. As you can see, plant foldies, all of the plants that I'm picking up or that I just showed you are ranging between $5.98. You can see this one right here is another croton for only $5.98. So if you want to start a collection of just different exotic tropical house plants, you can definitely buy it at a big box store like Lowe's and get it from Costa Farms. And you know, with Costa Farms, they are continuously trying to get more plants out there for the general public. And you know, other places that actually feature plants like Urban Jungle, all of the plants I will be featuring and picking up right now are only going to be for $13.98. You can see this one is actually a pretty cool one. This is in a self-watering planter. This is some type of Sansevieria or a starfish snake plant. Love that. I also have been into these durable plants right here. We've got a Sansevieria bird's nest right here for only $13.98 by Urban Jungle Plants. And then we have a bunch of Peperomia obtusifolias. We've got the green form as well as the variegated form. So I'm just going to show you Urban Jungle Plants. What I like about Urban Jungle Plants is that they have a lot of very affordable plants. Now, as far as the aesthetics, I wouldn't say Urban Jungle is necessarily my go-to. I do find that their planters are more boho, very funky, very just really unique textures and colors. I tend to go for more of a minimalistic look, but at the end of the day, the plants plants are still gorgeous, like this variegated version of a Peperomia obtusifolia. I have been told that peperomias are not really sought after as well. So there's just a lot of plants that are very much underrated, and I'm all about trying to promote these plants. Hence the reason why I have done big box store plant shopping videos on a daily basis for more than a year and a half. And I have to say, you plant foldies, the ones that have been with me from the very beginning, I truly appreciate you guys. I truly appreciate those that actually give me the time to just be able to make a platform where I could pick up plants, talk about plants for an hour, and just have a community of plant lovers as well. So if I haven't already said this throughout the video, I want to say again, thank you for those that actually click on my videos, engage, and actually appreciate the time and effort I take to create, this type of plant content. It does take a while. It is a process. It takes several hours, but it is definitely worth it. And I am really thankful that you guys have also been very understanding and forgiving if I'm not able to be as consistent about posting plant shopping videos. I wish YouTube's algorithm would be a little bit more forgiving in that sense. And I'm just going to speak very transparently. The thing about it is, if you have videos that are scheduled, say, to go up at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and maybe you miss it for a day or two, what I've noticed is that the next video you upload may not necessarily get pushed out to all of your subscribers. So that is the reason why I encourage anybody that's actually subscribed to the YouTube channel to make sure you have all notification bell on. So you, instead of just personal notifications, all notification bell on, that will actually keep you looped in. And the like button, the pressing the thumbs up or like button truly helps. I've noticed that if we get at least 100 likes within a 24-hour span after a video premieres, it really helps push this content out. And I'm hoping that we can get to 13,000 plant foldies in the next couple of weeks, but that will come eventually. It is a process, and at the end of the day, it's all about that genuine engagement. That's something I realize as a content creator. And so we're just going to continue to walk around, and I'm going to show you some more of these hanging baskets by Costa Farms and just the different varieties of plants that we have available. Again, all of the 8-inch hanging baskets by Costa Farms, at least at this Lowe's, is going to be $20.84. This is another trade Scantian that I like. I swear, as far as the hanging baskets by Costa Farms, they are really valued at a great price. I mean, you saw that Hoya Carnosa Crimson Princess, and then this beautiful Epiprimnum Aureum Neon Pothos, again for $16.94. I would actually buy a second one. There are certain plants that I could have multiples of. Neon Pothos is one of them. Plant foldies that are watching, please leave in the comment section what plants you could actually have doubles, triples, or multiples of. I would say any variety of Pothos plant I am okay with, because they are easy to care for. And as far as plants these days, I just find that if a plant is not as fussy, if a plant actually responds well to my environment, then that is the plant that belongs in my home. That is a plant that belongs in my space. I've said this in all of my videos, but I feel like a lot of us plant collectors get tied down to trying to emulate the environment that a plant needs in order to survive. So we buy grow lights, we buy humidifiers, we buy special artificial fertilizers, we get certain types of soil, certain types of substrates. And, you know, at the end of the day, maybe that plant is not necessarily meant to be in your space. I have had to learn that, especially with some of the more finicky plants. Like I love calatheas, I love those plants, but they just never really worked out for me. And whenever you send a plant to plant heaven, you also send money up to plant heaven as well. And, you know, at this day and age, at this state where things are a little bit uncertain with the economy, you know, hopefully things go on the up and up, but I would like to be able to make better financial decisions when it comes to just shopping for plants. And I urge our plant foldies to really look at alternatives on how to save money for plants, whether it's to go big box store plant shopping and find plants for like $15.98, these self-watering planters, or you can wait until there is actually a clearance or some type of sale. And you can just see right here with Costa Farms, I would recommend Costa Farms as a nursery that provides at big box stores to buy from, because they have very cost-effective plant pricing. I mean, the philodendron Birkin right there, $15.98. That's another one that's easy to care for. It's in a self-watering planter. It's commonly found. And then you'll see right over here, we've got a philodendron painted lady. This is a prime example of a philodendron painted lady that's pretty much reverted back to green because it did not receive that bright indirect light. This one is for $19.98 by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. And then our favorite, or at least my favorite, I hope it's your favorite too, definitely a super plant foldy. If you are a YouTube member, you definitely need an Aglaonema red cyan, but you can see right here, what a gorgeous plant. I love the pink stems, the red, and if you provide it with more bright indirect light, you're able to influence potential more red colors to come out. That's not always guaranteed, but as far as this Aglaonema, it is the common one, but it is an easy to care for plant right here. Like Ficus shivriana, this is another beautiful plant. I remember this plant being super expensive, like plant foldies. A one leaf, one node cutting used to be like $100. Now you can get a full plant for only $15.98. You can see right over here, we have another philodendron white knight for $19.98. And I'm just gonna spin around here and show you a couple of more plants before we end this video. Again, I love taking you with me as I go shopping for plants, or at least window shopping. You can see over here, we've got a Haworthia by Live Trends Design. And what's interesting about Haworthias is that they are considered succulents, but they are low light tolerant. And when you think about a succulent, you think that a succulent is actually synonymous to bright indirect light. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you actually grow succulents, especially Haworthias. What are your thoughts about succulents? Is it something that you would add to your plant collection? Because as I do more plant content, as I try to create more content that is a little bit more diversified, succulents and cactus is something that I have really been trying to get into, as well as other plants. So you've already seen, or at least know, that I love Japanese maples. I'm asking our plant foldies, because based on what YouTube said, you guys are not interested in my Japanese maple videos. Hopefully you will consider watching Metro Maples detailed nursery walkthrough. It is one of my best works because the lighting was perfect. It was super peaceful, and I get to show you another side of me. And it's just interesting that YouTube will literally tell me what people are interested in, what they're not interested in. My intent for this platform is to really diversify and create awareness for people that may not necessarily have known that type of plant, or maybe have not seen that type of plant care. I love Japanese maples. I hope you guys will also love Acer palmatum. Definitely look at my Metro Maples video. And, you know, just a little bit of a plug, Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast. If you have not subscribed to that YouTube channel, search Cultivation Corner. You will actually see more of me. You might actually see my full face if you actually go onto that plant podcast. season finale is going to be next week. It's going to be a very spicy, very blind item related one. We talk about prop lifting and all the controversies in the plant community. So definitely tune into the Cultivation Corner. We are going to start filming season 3. So if you are a plant foldie, I would also say you are a cultivator. We just need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch it. We are hoping to get to 1,000 cultivators within the next couple months, but that means I need you guys. I know you watch my videos. I know that you've subscribed to my YouTube channel. Can you go ahead and please check out Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast on YouTube? Press the subscribe button and watch the plant podcast. It's really fun. We talk about all things related to plants. But as far as today's video, you can just see that I've just gone around, really showing you guys all of the plants. I miss being able to go big box store plant shopping and showing you these. So I'm just gonna keep showing you these, and then we're gonna, finish up this video today. Definitely one of my go-to places to go plant shopping. Would you agree? Do you shop at Lowe's? Definitely check out this Lowe's. This is in Plano, Texas, right next to the George Bush Tollway in Preston, off of Preston Road. This is one of the better Lowe's, definitely in the DFW market. It's one that I often frequent because they have such a wide variety of different types of plants. Again, from Costa Farms, trending tropical plants. We've got urban jungle plants, and then they also have a very nice outdoor garden center. And I didn't really feature outdoor plants today. I really wanted to go back to the core of this YouTube channel, which is really indoor tropical house plants. But sometimes I want to deviate just a little bit. I want to push the envelope when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. Things you can do, again, is to press the thumbs up or like button for this video, leave tons of comments, and I would hope to enjoy sharing more of my personal content on my YouTube membership tier. Please hit the join button. It is only for $2.99, and you will see a lot of my personal plant collection and other content that's not big box store related. As always, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Growfold. Check out the videos that are popping up on the screen on the left hand side. There are more videos for you to check out. Hopefully you can binge watch those as well, because those are playlists and other videos that I've created in the past. Subscribe to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.